What is happening, people? Harry Scarfe here, football content creator, YouTuber and football writer with your daily Premier League news and transfer window update. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Thank you, Chris Cullen, for this opportunity, and welcome back to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're new. First part of the video is about headlines. Second part of the video is about dissecting your Premier League headlines in the last 24 hours. So let's get straight into it with your headlines. Fabrizio Romano firstly reports that Benjamin Sesko is set to undergo his medical at a signature of a 5-year contract at Manchester United. The process has started, and Sesko will be unveiled on Saturday as a new Manchester United player at Old Trafford. Sky Sports News reports that Nicholas Jackson has told Chelsea he wants to consider his options to play for another club. Sky Sports News report that Newcastle United have opened negotiations for Kolo Muani. The 26-year-old is now high on Newcastle's shortlist after a failed move for striker Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig, which fell through. While Newcastle are exploring other options, Kolo Muani is a concrete target. Contact with Paris Saint-Germain valid until 2028. It's official, confirmed and announced. Victor Reis joins Girona on loan from Premier League club Manchester City. Official, exclusive story confirmed. Max Aline joins Watford on a season-long loan from Manchester City, and before that he signed a new contract with Manchester City until June 2030. Fabrizio Romano reports that Arthur Masuaku to Sunderland. Here we go. Deal agreed with the left-back. Exclusive details are that he signed a 2-year deal at Sunderland with medical completed on Friday. Masuaku is the next signing for Sunderland's big project, with more to follow soon. Fabrizio Romano reports that Bournemouth centre-back Ilai Zabani to Paris Saint-Germain. Here we go. New centre-back for Luis Enrique is set to sign a new 5-year deal until June 2030 after fee package worth €67 million has been verbally agreed with Premier League club Bournemouth. Zabani will travel ahead of the UEFA Super Cup on Wednesday against Tottenham, so he's going to travel for his medical. One more key addition for Paris Saint-Germain. Fabrizio Romano reports that Johan Wisser is pushing now to join Newcastle as negotiations are off and underway between the two clubs. Brentford are working on an Atara deal, and that could open the door for Wisser's exit. Wisser keeps pushing to leave Brentford and to join Newcastle. Fabrizio Romano reports the club in active talks to sign Randal Kolo Muani is and will always be Juventus. Kolo Muani wants to return to Juventus too, and Juve want to bring it back. Talks on, though, also with PSG. Newcastle sources deny any negotiation or approach made whatsoever. There's no talks there. Official and confirmed, Nemanja Broja joins Burnley on a permanent deal from Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano and other sources report the fee was £20 million. Fabrizio Romano reports that Nicholas Jackson and Chelsea is over between them. Johan Wisser was left out of the Brentford squad on Saturday. Fabrizio Romano says that is because his plan is very clear, and that is to leave Brentford and to join Newcastle. Former Arsenal and Bournemouth goalkeeper Neto joins Botafogo on a 2-year deal, and their contract until June 2027. So Jackson, Nkunku, Ben Chilwell, Raheem Sterling, Axel Disasi, Ronald Vega were all left out of the Chelsea squad on Friday. Fabrizio Romano says they're all expected to leave before the end of the window. Fabrizio Romano reports that Manchester United remain in contact with Believers agents in the last 48 hours. Fabrizio Romano reports that Isak keeps rejecting new contract offers from Newcastle United, and Fabrizio Romano says that Nkunku and Jackson will leave Chelsea. Anyhow, said it's clear at the moment we can't have Isak involved with the group. He's here, so of course he has a future at Newcastle. From our perspective, we would love to have him back with the team, but the situation has to be right for that to happen. Rodri has suffered an injury setback and will be out at least until mid-September. Guardiola said Rodri is getting better, but he had a big injury against Al Hilal. He's trained better, and we hope after the international break is when he'll be really fit next. Fabrizio Romano reports that Manchester United and RB Leipzig have now signed all documents for the Benjamin Sesko deal. The contracts have been approved after medical on Friday, all sealed between the clubs for an €85 million package. Sesko signs on Saturday morning ahead of the unveiling at Old Trafford later on Saturday. David Orsien reports that Newcastle United are considering a move to sign Sami Agafora from FC Porto. The 21-year-old Porto striker is high among strikers and options to bolster the attack. No formal approach or guarantee but it happens to know that the Spanish international is liked by Newcastle. Sky Sports News report they've got more on the exclusive details about Mass Bistrup and the talks with Nottingham Forest, and that is initial talks have taken place between Nottingham Forest and RB Salzburg, as well as between Forest and the players' camp. Bistrup is open to the move, but RB Salzburg have made it very clear that their captain is considered one of their key players and not willing to let him go for less than his value. However, the deal is on. Sky Sports News report that Liverpool are closely monitoring the situation of Brackley Backler. However, there's been no offers or advanced talks with the players' camp at this stage. Alexander Isak remains the priority for Liverpool in the rest of the summer transfer window. Should the move fall through, though, the club will have the budget available for a high-profile winger like Backler, so that wouldn't be a problem. PSG remain relaxed, maintaining their stance. The Backler is not for sale. Internally, they view the rumours as a possible smoke screen linked to Liverpool's pursuit of Newcastle's Alexander Isak. It's official and confirmed. Eastern Enquiries signs a new 5-year deal at Arsenal to 2030 as expected. Fabrizio Romano reports that Manchester United have definitely opened the doors to a loan move for striker Rasmus Højlund as revealed. On the other hand, Højlund insists on staying at United. AC Milan are in contact with his agents to advance this deal. United want a heavy loan fee, around €6 million with his full salary covered. And last but not least, Enzo Maresca said, it's a priority for me to get a new centre-back. We will see if we go for it. So that is your daily Premier League headlines and transfer window update in the last 24 hours. Now let's get into it and talk opinions. So start with Benjamin Sesko. So his medical is happening and probably completed this time. The medical time this video gets to you. So that's a big signing from Manchester United. He chose United over Newcastle. Nicholas Jackson wanting to leave Chelsea. Whether he'll leave or not is another thing, because Chelsea want a big fee. We're talking, I think they said 65, 70 million euros that he's valued at. So that's a huge kind of price that Chelsea do want, which makes it a lot harder. Kolo Muani, that'd be a big signing for Newcastle. They've been linked to so many strikers and it hasn't happened, so it's no surprise that Newcastle in talks for more than one. Victor Rees at this channel, I've been reporting how he's close to join City. We're giving you the latest news from sources. He now joined Manchester City. Now joined Girona from Manchester City, rather. Similar with the Max Alliance story. Masuaki is an interesting signing for Sunderland. If people don't remember, former West Ham left back in the Premier League. I mean, I think he's very underrated. Sunderland are really moving in this transfer window, it'd be fair to say. Ilai Sabani, finally that deal's done. It's taken an awfully long while with Bournemouth getting €67 million. It'd be interesting to see if it's all paid at once. Is it paid in instalments? How much add-ons is there? Whisper, that move to Newcastle is still very possible. That's the thing. Newcastle could end up with, if I had to predict, I think Newcastle will sign 2 strikers and sell Alexander Isak. Bold claim here, but I think Whisper will be one of them. It was a big good signing for Newcastle and really suit Eddie Howe. Maybe more of a short-term option. Someone like a Kolo Muani would be maybe more of a long-term option, but maybe a fancy deal for Newcastle. Burnley also moving this transfer window. Kyle Walker was a smart bit of business. Amanya Broya is also a smart bit of business. How long he can stay fit for remains to be seen, and whether he'll be right for Burnley. £20 million is a lot. So I think Chelsea got a good deal out of it as well, it has to be said. Bournemouth Sunday goalkeeper Neto joins Botafogo. A lot of Chelsea's players expected to leave. No surprise that it's Jackson, Lukaku, Chilwell, Sterling, Vega, but Disasi is a little bit of a surprise. Big blow for Manchester City and Rodri suffered a small injury setback. Eddie Howe again, I like how he's been transparent and honest with Newcastle fans and the media throughout. He's like, he can't have Isak involved. Most people just say I'm not going to speak about the links. Believer, again, Man United are making moves, don't get me wrong, in the transfer window, but surely that's more of a fancy move than actually happening. But again, there's one time it will tell. Newcastle as well linked to sign more people. As Sami Ofora from Porto, 21-year-old, that being more of a long-term target. I see them getting a ready profile like a Johan Wissa. I think they would have wanted Benjamin Sesko, but I think they get a Wissa and then they get a younger striker like that 21-year-old, because Isak's probably going to leave Newcastle. I think the plan for Newcastle is to have 2 strong strikers, because remember they let Callum Wilson go, so it still could be a good outcome for Newcastle even if Isak leaves, and despite not getting Benjamin Sesko or other first targets. Bistrup and Nottingham Forest will be a big signing, obviously RB Salzburg captain, but for deals on, according to Sky Sports, it'd be one interesting to happen. Ethan Nwaneri, Arsenal committed into his future. I wonder if there's anything in there about game time. Rasmus Højlund, I love his attitude. He wants to stay at Man United, fight for his place, isn't scared by the competition, but I think Man United would be very keen to at least loan him out. I don't see what Rasmus Højlund brings. Of course, I like his attitude though, so hopefully it does work out for him eventually. And Maresca being very, very honest, probably too honest with the media, that he's a priority to get a new centre back, and always hinting, going, let's see if we go for it or not. Which is, you just don't hear managers do. Is that ideally, but he's just speaking very honestly about it. You've got to remind that we need more from managers and with the media. But as your daily Premier League transfer news update as well, and headlines with me, Harry Scarfe, football content creator and YouTuber. Thank you, Chris Callan, for this opportunity. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you can, follow me at Harry Scarfe22. That'd mean a lot. Football content creator, YouTuber, football writer and advocate for autism at 16 years old. Thank you very much. You can as well subscribe to our YouTube channel, Harry Scarfe. It takes my own Tottenham podcast within, called the Scarfe Spurs podcast, but don't worry, it's also available multi-platform. But I want to thank Chris Callan for this opportunity. I want to thank you guys. Struggling with hay fever, not feeling great, but push through it. Thank you very much for watching.